Now we're going to talk about something really fun. And I learned this principle through a broken relationship. Uh, Somebody had broken up with me. It's actually one of the only times in my life that a girl had actually broken up with me. And I was really devastated. It was a really hard time in my life. And so I went out and we got this relational coach who's actually coached thousands and thousands of people around the world. They're part of a team. And here was what she said to me. It was a very fascinating thing. She goes, Chris, statistically, internationally, people come back together. The person that broke off the relationship comes back within 6 months. It's like 95% or something like that. I don't know. I don't have the stats in front of me, but it was something like that. Now, 95% of these relationships at least attempt to try to come back together again. And I'm going, well, that's kind of weird. That could happen 30 days, could be 3 months, could be 6 months. I even have a friend of mine that happened 2 years later, because she finally got her stuff together, realized what she had, and she woke up. Now, the reason I'm talking about this is because I think it's one of the biggest challenges that a guy faces. You love a girl, she's wanting to leave, and you don't know what to do, and your temptation is what I talked about earlier, right? To go kiss an ass and trying to get her back, and it's not gonna work. I mean, most of the time that doesn't work. If you did get her back, you're getting her back on the wrong terms. I'm gonna explain to you why. Because a woman, again, wants to know she's with a man who is a real leader, who really knows where he's going, and who's able to do that. Now, I got to say this carefully, but I think that a lot of times I've found that the girls will kick and push and stretch and try to just see how far they can stretch those boundaries. They did it as a little girl to their father, inevitably, right? So, of course, they're going to do that with you as a man. And you have to be able to be steady enough to handle that and to be prepared for it. And sometimes the best thing is to allow some space. Allow them to go for a little while, because during that time, they're going to learn to appreciate you. They're going to think for a while. And you know what? They're going to have more respect for you later because you stood by your principles. It's very, very important. Now, listen, I'm not telling you go break up with a girl so you can teach her a lesson. That's, again, toxic masculinity. It's a bad idea. And there's a number of courses out there. I've actually went through one when I was trying to understand masculinity years ago after a series of broken relationships, going, what is wrong with me? Why do I keep doing this? And why does this keep happening to me? And I had to realize it was me. I was with a friend of mine in New York, a wonderful, beautiful woman, won a bodybuilding championship, just amazing woman. She got a degree in forensic psychology. And here's what she told me. She said, Chris, we actually attract a partner to where we are at emotionally at that point in time of our lives. So if we're not in a healthy place, we usually attract unhealthiness, right? Because we're wanting intimacy, we're wanting real connection, right? And that's where we're at, so that's the kind of connection. Well, the problem is that if you do that, and you actually end up getting healthier and you're growing like you should be, then what happens is that they don't. You see what happens? You start to drift apart. So my point to you in all of this is, listen, don't be afraid to make the decisions that you need to make. Remember, it's not about this girl. There are 7 billion people in the world, man. I'm being real with you right now. You need to hear this. There are 7 billion people in the world. How many women are out there? Listen, there's another woman out there if this one is not the right one. Remember your goals and your visions. Let me give you my story. I have a vision of training up 1 million orphans around the world. That's absolutely right. We have a program called New Generation, and we're developing a training curriculum to give to these orphans so that they can become the next leaders, right, in the next generation of business, government, whatever. Now, when I'm dating, you know what I'm thinking about all the time? I'm thinking about, will this woman actually fit where I'm going? Now, a woman loves that. When you've got vision and you start asking about that, she's like, oh my God, she's never seen that before. I'll almost guarantee you that the woman you're with has probably never seen that before. So here's my encouragement to you. Remember, we're going back over this, and I'm going to keep hammering at it because it's important. You're a protector. You're a visionary. You know where you're going in life, and you're finding it out. You're a leader, and you lead with empathy, but you know where you're going, and you're willing to protect the place, and you're not afraid to cut something off if you don't feel it's good for you. That's important. It's an important trait because that's part of real masculinity is our ability to do that. All right, next one.